So, you may have heard the myth of a legendary escapist. One who has debunked plenty, has designed and broken out of various prisons, has used powerful mobs, a simple tool for his escapes. Perhaps he is most famous for his criticisms of others for faking escapes and using predetermined solutions in their videos. But a while ago, he himself made a video escaping a prison and he himself used these underhand tactics. Of course, I'm talking about Kenadian, member of Fog, designer of Data's Vault and overall well-liked YouTuber. However, I myself also really enjoy his videos, and due to the lessons he taught us, I realized that he was using preset solutions, did not conserve resources and blatantly lied multiple times about the simplest of things. That's why I made this video, in admiration of him. I had to use his own lessons to out him, I had to find other solutions, think outside the box, and I had to debunk the Kenadian. So, a few months ago, Kenadian uploaded a video debunking Wifies. By a few months, I mean 9 months ago. So the premise of the video is that Kenadian is debunking Wifies while he's live solving an escape room. But then he finds out that the Wifies escaping the map is actually a clone of an original Wifies who, after finding Kenadian snooping around, puts him into the escape room that Wifies already solved. The rest of the video consists of Kenadian finding ways to solve the already solved rooms, but while watching the video, I realized that Kenadian kept on ignoring some things. As a matter of fact, taking a closer look, I was given a whole new perspective and I realized that throughout the video, Kenadian just ignores some obvious ways out, has some extremely convenient moments, and has some seemingly scripted solutions. Therefore, in very Kenadian fashion, I will debunk Kenadian. By the way, do not take this video seriously. I realized that Kenadian's original video was a meta commentary on his own videos and a late April Fool's joke, and that's why he acts so obliviously in the video. This video was just made for fun, because I really like Kenadian. I thought it'd be funny to try and debunk him. So do not take anything too seriously. The first room is pretty easy. Kenadian uses an anvil to crawl glitch and collect some leftover pots, after which he escapes the room and jumps in lava to respawn outside, but his spawn was set inside the room. After this, the original Wifies comes and breaks one singular block, causing Kenadian seemingly to not be able to escape anymore. But then, he says this.
I went back and tried replacing one of my pots with the other fences. It did a grand total of nothing. Grand total of nothing. was doing. The hard part, ironically, was getting over this 2-block ledge. I don't know how Wifies did it, but the only way that I know how to get all the carpets across is by item grouping. Remember that feature from earlier in the video that completely depends on luck? Well, I kept getting so unlucky with getting the carpets to group the right way that I genuinely could not get from the button to the water in time.
Nothing wrong, right? Well, I actually tried to recreate this clip. Getting over the lava was easy, but when I tried item grouping, it just didn't seem to work. So after plenty of attempts and even just testing out how item grouping works, I searched online how to do it, where I found a post on PaperMC, which addressed this glitch. This means that the map is not actually possible in purely vanilla Minecraft the way Kenadian tried this. So that means I'm technically the first one to officially beat Kenadian's map, without any mods.
Zoglin from the maze stepped on a pressure plate that led to a dropper. Maybe Wifies left an item behind? Surprisingly, no. Yes, that ceiling is made of end portal frames. I almost considered trying to make head hitter jumps with my pot and carpets, but I didn't have anything to place the carpets on. Hi, you look friendly. Can I join you up there, please? Don't mind me, I just need to... Nope. Okay, not the smartest thing I've ever done. Which I did. What was I going to use when I got to the Zoglin boost section? Wifies did the jump with an anvil, but I would have no blocks left when I got there, so that plan never worked anyway. I can't move the water. Because one of my items fell and I had to catch it in midair. I know that Witch drops banners which get sent into the void, and as we all know, Witch stands for withdrawing items to catch heroically in midair.
So Kenadian uses Witch to collect banners, which he plans to use to place carpets on, which is very convenient, because 1. Witch actually dispenses the item into the void and not into lava. 2. The item it dispenses is actually a bit useful instead of, I don't know, banner patterns, or tools, or just any renamed block. 3. Kenadian conveniently forgets that he can place carpets on cobwebs. And 4. The dispenser is very conveniently in reach of Kenadian. He doesn't even have a use for them right now, but later he needs them. It's almost like he had a planned escape method, and he already knew he would need the batters later.
This room is already solved for me because Wifies did the hard part. I mean, I guess that's gonna happen eventually when you play a solved escape room, so that's fun. Actually, can I conserve resources first, just in case? So how do you think he set off that redstone signal? Somehow Wifies placed a dripstone on that observer back there to update it. If I want to update the same observer, I'd have to break the thing he placed. How did he even get it back there? I didn't have enough dripstone left to crawl anymore, which is ironic because dripstone was the thing I needed to break. But while I was wondering if there was a better way, the face gave me a hint. Oh, wait, the banner. Yeah, it's like the perfect shape for this, because I can place the dripstone up against the side of like a wall banner.
So, not only does Kenadian not even try to break the blocks on the villager's face, he also uses the conveniently gotten banners to place the dripstone. And the face is for some reason a villager's. Why is there even a villager's face on it? It's not even relevant to the puzzle, and it allows for the face to be broken. The only real use for it is to remind Kenadian of his banners, which he shouldn't really have gotten in the first place. This is where it all leads up to. The main reason for this video, because I believe Kenadian intentionally made this last room so easy, he wanted it to be debunked. He claimed multiple different methods aren't possible, but in reality, nearly every word he said is wrong. See for yourself.
Part of the puzzle. That's another room I don't have to worry about solving. So I got back up using the dripstone I was very glad I spared earlier. And, wow, hours ago, I thought I was on the precipice of confronting Wifies, a devious fraud. And now, I'm about to rescue a Wifies who is incredibly oblivious, and I have no plan. Wish me luck. I can show you proof, but we'd have to get out. Do you have any leads?
By the way, did you realize that we used the redstone we collected all the way back in room 3 to escape? Okay, well not really. You could just also collect redstone here and an armor stand, which Kenadian does in this video, but it's way more fun to say that we escaped using the redstone we collected and Kenadian didn't. So we're just gonna go with that, okay?
Well, the first 20 minutes were spent scavenging the nether section. We tried bringing the dripstone I left behind, only to realize we can't crawl out with dripstone if there was nothing to hang it on, except this tiny tunnel where I can't get the right height. but the Nether gave us a big brain idea. If we were in different dimensions and one of us broke the Nether portal, then the other person could generate a brand new portal, which would be in here again. Okay, forget what I said about big brain. Pretty cool, but he only got 3 out of 6 before I guess he ran out or something. So we can't activate the mechanism until the last 3 torches are broken. Luckily, he's in a room with an escaping master. Now, I immediately noticed one useful item from each of our inventories: my armor stand and his knockback sword. Together, we could launch the armor stand onto one of the pressure plates and break the torch, and
it's out of reach.
That's my bad. It's fine. Since it was clearly impossible to trigger those pressure plates from way back here, then I learned that the Nether puzzle apparently included a boat that Wifies never told me about. A boat that would be perfect for escaping, but it was stuck in a wall behind a tiny gap. And trust me, we studied it longer than I want to admit. There was no way to get that boat without trapping ourselves in the boat cage. The trident really seemed like the key here though, because Wifies told me about a better use for it. In the Nether, he used it to redirect ghast fireballs. In fact, that's how he lit the Nether portal, which led to the obvious next question: can you redirect a fireball into the portal? The next 30 minutes were spent back in the overworld fidgeting with the trident. It was definitely the most useful item. I noticed that when you throw it, it has this recoil that causes it to fly forward before it zooms back to you. I thought maybe we could graze the pressure plates with its return trip. It looked like it was getting close, but Wifies reassured me that this was not remotely working. Is it getting close?
Not really.
So after this, Kenadian uses a few more methods to try to escape, and eventually he uses an, admittedly, very cool glitch using a trident to escape. After they got out, they confront the original Wifies and have some lore, but that doesn't really matter to our debunk. You may now ask yourself, so Are you claiming Canadian is fake? Well, no. Neither am I saying that Canadian is a hypocrite or something else. I obviously realized that Canadian didn't take this video that seriously. He even had a blooper video in which he partly debunked himself. I believe Kenadian is one of the most clever and fun creators out there, and it was admittedly pretty challenging to debunk him. I mean, I'm not sure if you noticed, but one escape was literally just get lucky with the skeletons and don't miss these very hard shots. I wasn't fully serious as well. I made this video just for fun, same with Kenadian. However, while debunking him, I found someone else. Someone who had more questionable escapes than Kenadian, whose videos are so debunkable, it's literally the title of the aforementioned debunk video. And because Kenadian's debunk was more lore based, I would also like to have a go at it. If you like the video, then subscribe, and you should watch Canadian's original video as well. Bye.